What's up, Overwatch fans? We are back and we are live in Los Angeles for the final stage of the 2019 Overwatch League season. It's week 2 of stage 4 and it rolls on today with 4 more huge matchups. The New York Excelsior stumbled out of the gates against the LA Gladiators last week, but they can still clinch the Atlantic Division and at least a number 2 seed in our playoffs with a win today. The NYXL will have to do so against the Paris Eternal, who they defeated back in week 2 of stage 3. At 9-14, Paris is fighting for their playoff lives against one of the best teams in the league today. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Blizzard Arena. This is the Watchpoint pre-show presented by State Farm. I'm your host, Chris Puckett, and I've got my midnight crew. It's Zoe, Brent, and Sideshow. Yesterday, we had 2 Game 5s. Are we going to midnight again today?
I'm aiming for 1 a.m.
1 a.m.
So,
1 a.m.
yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, I want 4 Game 5s today.
All of the games today actually seem pretty winnable by either teams as well. They should be great no matter what, but we could see a bunch of Game 5s again.
It's going to be a fun day. We talked so much about damage dealers in the past 2 weeks. Now it's time to hear from some of them. We sat down with the damage duos from London, Houston, and the LA Gladiators to find out how they're shaping the 2-2-2 meta and what they've learned so far after returning to some of their favorite heroes. Plus, some franchises shouldn't be made into trilogies, but we're doing it anyway. It's part 3 of our Watchpoint family sketch featuring none other than the beloved Montfather. When the pros take the stage, you'll see New York squaring off with Paris, plus the Houston Outlaws battle the Philadelphia Fusion, and the Chengdu Hunters face the LA Gladiators. Our final match of the day, though, features 2 above-average Joes. The Hangzhou Charge will take on the Hangzhou Spark for the 2nd time this season. Brent just got it. The Spark took the first match in 5 maps way back in Stage 2, but this time around, both teams are coming off a loss. The Spark lost to Atlanta last week, and the Charge lost to London last night. So, Sideshow, what head-to-head matchup do you have your eye on today?
I'm going to be looking at the Widowmaker. The Widowmaker? No, I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to go there. It's Happy versus Bazzi, though, and these are 2 of the most gifted players that we've seen on Widowmaker. We haven't seen too much of them because we've been stuck playing triple tank, triple support for the majority of the year. But the few flashes of Widowmaker play we've seen from both of these guys promises a head-to-head matchup potentially like no other. They take crazy angles, they have unbelievably gifted aim, and they're streaky, which means that sometimes they just seem to hit every single shot imaginable. We haven't really seen too much Widowmaker head-to-head, but I'm really hoping that both of these teams opt into it in this match, because it could be amazing.
I was a little bit confused, to be honest with you, when we saw them play last time against Atlanta Reign, because after the Spark were down 2-0, and they finally won the 3rd map, they decided to make some pretty odd swaps. In specific, their main tank. They took out Gushue and subbed in No Smite. Revenge came in as well. So, yeah, that was a bit confusing considering that they haven't really fielded No Smite at all this season. Now, if we're looking at the playtime on all those different heroes, it is an odd choice when it's literally match point for the other team to field in your other tank. Now, I thought maybe No Smite is a fantastic Orisa. Oh wait, no, he's not. This is the direct comparison with Gushue. Wait, did I say how I mean? I have stats, okay?
The
I can
MVP,
keep the
pretty
numbers.
good candidate there.
Yeah, I mean, Gushue, MVP candidate, and he has been doing so much work for this team. It was a really odd choice, in my opinion, to take him out for the deciding map for them, and they did lose.
Well, I'm going to talk about the main tanks on the other side of this matchup, and that's Rio as an individual, because a lot of people, we don't really talk about this guy too much, honestly. He kind of like forced the wayside. You know, you want to talk about Happy. Nero comes up in conversations a lot, but Rio has actually been performing very well on the Wrecking Ball as a hero. We've been seeing a little bit of Wrecking Ball, not as much as we have done the Orisa, but in particular, you see it a lot on the Control series, and he's been performing very well. A long time ago, Eamon, blessed be his name, did say that he was the 2nd best Wrecking Ball in the league, and I think mechanically that is proven so far. You can see statistically as well in the lower 3rd here, he is leading in a lot of these categories as well. So Rio really is performing very well up to such a high level that he's kind of like supplementing the DPS dealers of the Guangzhou Charge very well.
Arguably the match of the day there between Hangzhou and Guangzhou, 2 teams battling for their playoff position, while our first team playing today is trying to clinch a top seed already. That, of course, is the New York Excelsior, who can lock up at least the number 2 overall seed and their 2nd straight Atlantic Division title if they pick up a win today. They'll take on the Paris Eternal, who desperately need wins if they want to keep up with the race for that 12th and final stage playoff spot, or season playoff spot. Now, New York looked out of sorts in their loss earlier to the Gladiators, so Sideshow, any concerns here today?
I do have some concerns with New York as a whole, actually. I mean, they're a team that's always been built around very structured play and putting their backline in position to succeed. I mean, why wouldn't you when you have Jonak available there? But this meta is much more about DPS and how you get the best out of your DPS. And honestly, I haven't been too impressed with what I've seen. They don't have an explosive play style, and their backline is now just snacks for the enemy DPS. Jonak and Animo can't have the same impact that they used to, even when Jonak is playing the Zenyatta. We just haven't seen, honestly, any team have big games out of their support players since we introduced role lock, and it seems to have hurt New York. So I'm looking for them to really bounce back hard today against Paris, and the DPS duos have to be a big part of that.
Yeah, and I do think that they have to make some swaps when it comes to their roster. I'm not entirely sure if it was a good idea to field Nene over Sebiolbi, because apart from the numbers, yeah, Nene can play a lot of heroes to a very, very high level. Loved Cesario, of course, during the 3-3 meta, but now he didn't quite pass the eye test. And I think there's just something missing for New York, and that something is the leadership quality which Sebiolbi is bringing. On top of being a fantastic Widowmaker as well as a Tracer, he does have that voice. He is having that seniority and all the experience. And this is going to be the starting lineup for this day. And we do see Sebiolbi back in with Libero, who is an incredible, versatile player. So I think together, these might be the preferred DPS duo that New York should be fielding.
The 2018 looks pretty darn strong. Brent, we got to talk about Paris in this one, though, because this is a team that could pull off the upset. To do so, who are you looking at?
Yeah, realistically, you got to look at this team, and they did not have a great start. And a big part of this was the fact that Soon was not playing a role he was comfortable on. In fact, he was probably the most uncomfortable out of a lot of Zarya players in the league. You could look at this statistically, his rankings atrocious on the Zarya. But this is now in the past. We are no longer in the triple tank, triple support meta game. It's time for Soon to go back to the tried and tested roles that he was known for, and that's going to be the Widowmaker. And boy, oh boy, has he been popping on the Widowmaker. This guy has been absolutely ridiculous on this role. It's like he's been possessed. I don't know what it is. He's just been absolutely hard carrying his team in a lot of these scenarios, not only on the Widowmaker, but also on the Hanzo as well. He's been having just these performances. I don't know, when was the last time we've seen it? Because Soon was never known as this kind of hard carry, this clutch player. He was just consistently good. But this is kind of a new side of Soon, and he's coming out swinging with something to prove, and I really like it. And I think he's going to be giving New York a run for their money.
Getting that early season frustration out right now in Stage 4. Love to see it soon. Now we'll see which damage dealers have the edge between Paris and New York. And coming up, we'll find out who these analysts think are the role stars in each position for the entire league. That's next on the Watchpoint pre-show, presented by State Farm. The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile. The Chengdu Hunters clutched out 2 5-map wins in Week 1, and today they'll face Los Angeles Gladiators team that beat New York Excel. then lost to Houston in the same week. Now, Chengdu has put themselves into the top 12 for now, but they'll face a Gladiator squad today that might be their closest match in terms of versatility, right, Zoe?
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be the ultimate DPS versatility battle we have coming up for you. Of course, I'm talking about no other than Show4 DK going up the entirety of the Hunters. So let's take a look at what we saw coming in stage 4 from the Hunters. We see a lot of sniper action with the Widowmaker and Hanzo. A lot of Doomfist being played as well. Not quite as much Mei as many of the teams currently. So let's take a look at what we've seen so far from the LA Gladiators. Again, Widowmaker and Hanzo leading the charge there. However, no Doomfist whatsoever. Therefore, a lot more Tracer and Genji. So we do see a lot of overlaps. However, the usage is still quite a bit different. Now, the big question is, of course, who will be playing what? At the Gladiator side, I think it's pretty obvious that you will be fielding DK as well as Show4. For the Hunters, however, I do think that there's a lot more overlaps when it comes to hero pools. I do think that Jinmu, Young Xiaolong, as well as Bacon Jack, there's a lot of overlaps when it comes to the Hanzos they can play, the Doomfist they can play, the Sombra they can play. So when you're seeing at who they're fielding, it's not quite as obvious what you can see from them coming out.
Decay's Genji, which you saw there was just about 20% for the LA Gladiators, has been huge for them.
So good.
It carried them to a victory playing against the NYXL, but then it really got shut down hard against the Houston Outlaws, and I think that was one of the biggest reasons for this loss. You see Dante playing the Sombra here, and that, I think, was the biggest factor. Being able to scout out where Decay was coming from as Genji and get hacks on him and have the EMP, all of which are really detrimental to Genji play. And then you look at the Chengdu Hunters. Can they play this? Can they replicate it? Well, they've played 31%, as you brought up there with that graphic, of the Sombra so far. I think they really have to focus on shutting down Decay, whether it's with the Sombra or with a range of different strats, because if you don't, Decay will carry this game.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big opening for the Chengdu Hunters to really focus on. If you look at their schedule overall as well, this is probably the biggest opportunity they're going to have, actually, to take a match against the Gladiators here today. Gladiators looking weak after their previous match coming up, but look at these next matches for the Chengdu Hunters. These are difficult matches, realistically. You look at this, the Gladiators, it's a hard one. New York, if they shape up, sure, they can be a bit of a contender. Shock is definitely not going to be a walk in the park. And Spark and Outlaws have been, you know, they're middling, but again, we've seen that they are capable top teams. So Chengdu, if they can beat the Gladiators here today, it looks very good for their top 12 play-in chances right now.
I like that call. All right, well, the Overwatch League announced the Season Player Awards on Thursday. In addition to MVP, Rookie of the Year, and the Dennis Velko Award for Player Positivity, comes the introduction of Role Stars. We'll award the top 4 players from each role: damage, tank, and support, as voted on by GMs, coaches, broadcast talent, and the media. Let's see who has the gang as front runners right now. So, start us off. Who are your top 4 tanks in the game?
Oh man, I really don't like making those kind of lists because I do strongly feel like you can make an argument for almost all players, definitely not all players. But here is who I would be picking in the tank category. We have 2 main tanks with Gushue and Mono, definitely putting them on top of my list. Choi Hyobin and Fury, absolute beasts on that off-tank positions. Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid top 4 for me.
Solid picks, Josh.
Yeah, seems pretty reasonable. I mean, maybe Gushue would be the arguable one, but he's performed pretty well. With my supports, I think it gets a little easier because there's an easy top 2 when it comes to flex support. It's Twilight and Jonak, and I don't think that's really arguable at all. So then when you look at the main support players, I think Moth has been fantastic all season long, a real stellar player, leadership figure for the San Francisco Shock. And outside of that, it's either between like Slime or IDK, but I gave it to Slime here because he's such a playmaker and a pivotal figure for the Vancouver Titans who've been dominant all season.
All right, it's time for my damage dealers.
You got the tough one, yeah.
I was losing sleep over this. You know I was losing sleep on this because this is a
You
tough
picked
one.
those though.
This is what I've kind of solidified it down to. But right now I've got Sinatra, Haxel, Prophet, and Decay. But the reason this was so difficult is because the 3 stages, we've seen these players not playing damage-dealing heroes. They've been stuck on the Zarya or the Brigitte in some cases. But I've taken that into account as well because they have been comparable to a lot of other damage dealers. Sinatra, he brings a leadership figure into him. He's currently #1 on my list. Haxel, plays Brig, probably one of the best Brigitas we've seen in the league, then moves on to the Genji and plays one of the best Genjis we've seen. Prophet plays it all, and Decay is so skilled on both the Zarya and his other roles, like the Genji, like the Tracer as well. He really brings a lot of flexibility to the Gladiators. This was such a tough one to nail down, but I think I've distilled it.
Love those picks.
It's odd though. I thought you were talking about Ding earlier this week.
I was, yeah.
Hey, he swapped them out this morning. Now, we know damage dealers are just settling in, following 3 stages of triple tank, triple support, but role-locking 2 damage heroes is a welcome change for some of the league's biggest stars. We caught up with several of them to find out what it's like to be back to crushing on damage.
고츠에게 사실 도립깨질은 좀 재밌긴 했지만 다시는 안 봤으면 좋겠네요.
If Ghost was a person, I'd probably say you were around for too long.
Yeah, nobody liked you, goats. Go home. We don't like you. We'll play DPS now.
2 damage heroes means the return to glory of some of our league's most explosive damage dealers.
This is where they get to shine. Tracer play, Widow play, damage dealers. They're gonna wreck face.
That's gonna be the flashbang headshot. Oh, and sometimes you just click heads.
고츠가 끝나고 이제 투투투 메타로 바뀌게 되면서 이제 딜러들의 화끈한 뭐 캐리력 뭐 이런 것도 보는 재미도 있는 것 같고.
총 쏘는 이제 영웅을 쓸 수 있으니까 재밌어질 것 같아요.
And just like that, Toronto Defiant ran headfirst into a wall.
I just always like playing damage dealers. I love that feeling of like being super powerful, like your whole team's supporting you, and then you're able to make a play because of that. You're sort of the point of the spear.
Jake turns it around with a big dragon strike.
The new meta for the damage roles, basically, you just play the heroes you're good at, and the teams with the most flexibility will have an edge because you can always counterpick the other damage.
Oh, that's so brutal. Nowhere to go at that point. Surefour just collecting kills.
I just want to show them all the headshots I can do, you know? All the plays I can make being better than other people.
But he's a killer. He's a stone-cold killer.
Your flexibility as a DPS player, you can play the Widow, play the Tracer, play the mid, Genji, like anything that actually makes a big value for your team.
I think the meta is kind of up for grabs. Like, I think it'll change a lot as the stage progresses.
Now Dante picking up another one. This guy's unleashed again.
리그 최고의 디펜스 듀오. 뭐 저만 잘하면 뭐 될 것 같은데.
Oh, the Halt setting up Prophet for the 4K.
저희가 이제 모든 조합이 거의 둘이서 다 되기 때문이라고 생각하는데 저희가 이제 그렇게 생각하지 않나.
I mean, it just took the meta to be DPS. I mean, we have the 2 DPS players in the world.
쇼포 선수가 이제 DK 쇼포 조합이 가장 세다고 했는데 뭐 다음 시즌은 최고의 DPS가 될 수 있길 기대하겠습니다. 이번 시즌은 아닌 것 같아요.
These guys are freaks when it comes to DPS.
Some players are feeling great in Stage 4, but others are still trying to make a case for a spot in the Watchpoint family. The Mod Father will take a sit down with a few contenders when the Watchpoint pre-show returns. The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Goes in on the Carpe, gets the kill. V5 and still waiting to use that barrage. Maybe now's the time he's gonna go for it. And that's 2. Neptuno and EQO not able to do anything about it. Boombox wasn't around to land that sleep dart.
Chengdu kills everyone.
Pretty much. EQO with the kill on the Nero. Philadelphia bringing it back. They want to take us to that map 5, and they might be doing just that. EQO
The nano
with the 3
boost.
kills. Got the nano boost as well. Going speed shooting, but it doesn't matter. It is over. There's have to be worried about Sonic Arrow. Shows him everybody is. He's just going to throw the Dragon Strike in there. Gonna let it down with a great Halt. Oh, the Halt setting up Prophet for the 4K. That is the kind of play we saw a lot last year from Gesture.
Axel's trying to break line of sight as much as he can. Time for the nano blade. No, it's going to be a hold as well. This could be nasty, but he gets hit with the body grenade right at the beginning. Still able to fight Byram, and he goes upstairs. Gets himself 3. And that's just the Haxel we've come to expect.
Alt's coming in, but Envy, he gets pulled in first, and Ureg got the shot to help take him down, and Ureg, oh my goodness, gets the triple, goes forward up towards Coma, and he takes him down as well. Godreg, he is on the stage.
All right, even though this food is colder than Widowmaker's heart, I'm feeling nice enough to take a sit down with a few teams today.
Padre Monte, grazie mille.
We know our families haven't been on the best terms. Remember, I want real contenders.
Now we're just a bunch of baby bays and guys with no vowels in their name.
We got these sweet pink shirts. What do you think, boss? Am I in?
You're the kind of man we want in the family, so welcome.
We stick together like risotti parmigiano.
What kind of buffoon puts bolognese on rigatoni?
Have mercy on us, Godfather.
So what do you think, huh? You ready for some real muscle in the family?
Thank you, Outlaws. I'm glad you've finally been playing well enough to be my errand boy. This lasagna tastes like the inside of Roadhog's leather mask. Nonetheless, I've decided to take one last sit down as the playoffs approach. And so I will take a few more teams under consideration to be a part of the family. You, with the teal jersey, what have you got to say for yourself?
Grazie mille, Padre Monti. The Guangzhou Church are finally ready to be in your good graces. Come si dice, due, molto bene per la carica. Yeah, we lose a match here and there. It's not a problem. We have Froggy and Bishu. People love it, the Froggy and the Bishu, right? We're top 12 all the way. What you say, Padre Monti?
I do love the Fraggy and the Bishu, but that's not why I'm going to make you a part of this family, Guangzhou Charge. I know you've been doing well, but you're still on the brink. You managed to beat Philadelphia last week. You took out Boston, but I'm going to need to see a little bit better than what you did against the Spitfire. You're going to win against Hangzhou Spark tonight. You're one of the hotter teams in this league, so you're going to be part of this family for now, but I don't want to see you dropping below 12th place, okay, Guangzhou?
Okay, grazie mille.
Good. Okay, who's next? You, the creamsicle-looking fella. What say you?
Listen here, all right? Real men wear orange, Monty Father. These are our old jerseys, which should take us back to last year when we went to the grand finals. Okay, you know, maybe. About a couple of bad weeks. Maybe our hyped-up damage duo isn't carrying out hits the way we want them to. But we'll get the job done when it counts, eh? Besides, all roads to the grand finals run through Philly this year, huh? Let us represent you and the family, Monty Father.
I'm really tired of your excuses, Philadelphia Fusion. You kept telling me that when GOATS was over, you were going to be great again. I was going to see Carpe and EQO popping off. But you know what? You keep losing the games, Philadelphia. I need to see you back into your old form. I want to see you want to play Overwatch. It's a good thing the rest of your division is so pathetic that you're probably going to make playoffs anyway. So I guess I have to bring you into the family because you're just in the Atlantic Division. All right? Okay. Not feeling too well. I've got time for just one more. Well, look who it is. It's my old right hand who decided to go out on his own. I knew you'd come crawling back, NYXL.
You're right, Father. The times are changing. Our old turf has been completely roll-locked, and we need your help. We're still kings, though. We just need some time to get back on top. It'll be like 2018 all over again. We'll bring Pine back, Sebiolbi, Wizard John. Wait, maybe not Wizard John. Maybe not him. But please welcome us back into the family, Father. Please, we'll make you proud. I swear it.
Interesting. Okay. I've got an offer for you, NYXL. It's the kind of offer you can't... it's the kind of offer you can't... Outlaws, what did you do to this lasagna?
Well, y'all know it's just a little bit of Jake rat poison there, my father. Don't mess with Texas. Welcome back. It's time for your Friday predictions. Zoe and Sideshow have New York, but Brenji likes Paris. Sideshow is on his own with Philadelphia over Houston, and all three analysts like the Gladiators to win and to charge in our showdown. We got to talk about this first one, though. Brent, you like Paris. Back up the claims, man. Why do you think they got the win over New York tonight?
New York's looking kind of whack these days, though, aren't they?
Kind of whack, bro.
Soon's looking kind of clutch. It's all adding together. I think one more bad match for New York. It looks like they're not comfortable in this meta, Josh.
Yeah. I mean, you on the pre-show yesterday said don't take one result too badly.
There you guys have it, guys. Enjoy the games that kick off right now.